We back with full Soprano with new changes in tow. This boss has become a tower out of nowhere and a Fury unit that cheats. I mean, if only other Fury units could gain cooldown without having to attack. The minimum score to get to is 12k, and we will be doing our best to reach that. I have a budget team and then an invested team. For my budget team, it'll contain mostly farmable units this time, and the units available to new players through the selectors. So let's go ahead and check it out. Starting off with a Hilde and Laura. Laura's gonna assist us in getting a Hilde enough time in order to get her special off so she doesn't get knocked back. Then we have the goat Estiki coming out. He's gonna additionally help slow down Soprano here with Gayun's attack speed slow as well. By the way, guys, in order to get minimum score with these mods, you need to at least clear with 25 seconds left on the clock. Go ahead and restart if you pass that time, if you're using this comp and these mods. But yeah, so continuing on, we summoned the boys coming out to help us keep this boss from ulting, giving us a little bit more DPS. We got Roy for additional attack speed down. Then the only non-free-to-play unit on this squad, we got Mika Star. Mika Star is gonna make it so that all these knockbacks that we're having to deal with, we don't have to deal with being put to sleep. So yeah, we're gonna have to walk back up, but at least we're not wasting 10 seconds in the back watching Ahilde and Estiki solo the boss. Shinatsu's doing a great job keeping our whole team alive. Gayun does take quite a bit of damage here, and she comes pretty close to dying, but with some, one line of ground res, she does a pretty good job staying afloat. And even if she does end up dying, she's in the first 4 deployed, so she'll end up getting redeployed and continuing on. Besides that, since we don't gotta ever worry about going into phase 2, we can honestly take a lot of our time and not have to worry about all of our units getting stolen from us, or at least our front lines getting stolen. And this is quite the long fight, if I'm being honest. I mean, but with these stats that they gave this boss, trying to do this with the free-to-play units as best as we can is quite the challenge, to be honest. If I was going to suggest anything, I would bring Agnes, Kurian, even Regina still works on hard, so they all do good DPS. Jacko is amazing as well. You could also use Eve. There's a lot of options if you want to sit here and bring more DPS to the fight. And like I said, we cleared enough time that we got to the minimum score. And since Wardens are up, we're definitely going to want to put our best DPS gear on Wardens, and the same for Gayun. For the budget team, I'm using Tempest for the ship and Hana for the operator, but Hana, you can use a different operator than Hana as long as you have the material to proc it. But for this, we're using Hana. And on Hilde, we're going to be running just full CDR, as much damage as we can fit. She's fine on Mage gear if that's all you have for CDR. Laura, I'm running on tank, but tank CDR would be better. It's a basic tank set, works just fine for her. She just needs to exist. Estiki, I'm doing a speed tank because oddly enough, Estiki dies a lot. Not on tank gear. Want the A speed though for the slow. And then for Gayun, I'm running, since she's my secondary DPS, I'm running my best A speed, ground damage, range damage. You can sit there, you can run anti-tower, but I would suggest using the EE if you're gonna do that. For Chinatsu, we want on our best CDR gear. We want her healing as much as possible here. For Roy, we want on our tankiest gear we can afford. Want him to be tanky as possible so that he can take the hits. Warden, we're putting our best DPS gear, so attack, anti-tower, range damage, all those work. And then for Mika Star, she's actually rather squishy with only 250 defense, so we are going full tank gear on her as well. We don't want her dying, so crit res, ground res, the works. Okay, so this gets a little tricky. We can no longer on expert mode reduce the boss's A speed. So we need I wouldn't say a buttload, but definitely more than 20% A speed in order for Ahilde not to get knocked back at the start. Unfortunately, I tried to get, fit Lin Jian into this, but she, for some reason, just doesn't want to get knocked back. And so she just ends up dying, and no point in that. So we're just going to sit there and skip Lin Jian. Aegea getting knocked back and put to sleep is fine because Ahilde is really not in any threat of dying, even on minus 50% HP and max attack on the boss. But the bonus skill haste from the very beginning is really good, so we're gonna sit there and take advantage of that. Chinatsu is definitely gonna do a good job here because we're on auto, so we're not really timing things here per se, but she'll keep the majority of your team alive that are up in, like Jacko and Seal and such. Now this is actually where TU's kind of hurt us, because Mordred's going to be deploying here soon, and she only deployed 1 second later. Like I'm pretty sure it's just one maybe 2 seconds later. That knockback wouldn't have eaten the Ahilde shield that she got, and the Ahilde shield really would have been helpful, to be honest. Yes, Mordred and Agnes are honestly rather hard to keep alive in this. I did multiple runs where both or one or the other die, and there is a world where both of them live, but honestly the ending here was actually kind of was pretty cool. Now I did try out a 5-cost sniper instead of Agnes to sit there and get the timing on Vivian to be better, but truthfully this is honestly the best setup because you just saw that Kurian ulted, and that actually puts him in melee range, which saves your team from getting smacked by that ranged attack, since it registers as somebody being in melee, which gives your front line enough time to get back to the boss. So it really works out. And of course, we could have, like I said, we could have gotten a better timing in the world that both Mordred and Agnes live, but Agnes did her job, and this is the best ending. I mean, my team's asleep, the boss died for who knows what killed it, some after effect. We'll take it. Nice 35k on auto. And no surprise, upped Kurian with Origin buff. It just does ridiculous amounts of damage. For the infested team, we're running Tempest again. And Vivian as the operator, and I have to say that A speed is probably a must for auto. For Hilde, I'm running this oddball set of gear. I have A speed with skill haste. You need definitely more than 20% skill or A speed with the A speed operator in order to get the skill off in time to not get pushed back. For Sinjia, we're running a tanky CDR set with crit res. We need that 15% crit res, or you need to lower your HP mod. Chinatsu is keeping our team alive, so we want to, give her as much skill haste as we can humanly possibly allow. For Kurian, we want to go with as much damage as we can. I have double attack here, but double anti-tower, crit damage set, any one of those. Just stay away from range damage if you plan to use this ult. For Jacko, I have a full crit damage with melee damage, subs, anti-tower, double attack. All of those work. Seal actually can live pretty long on just tank CDR. She does a pretty good job with Hey Hilde and her damage res she gives herself. So yeah, you can go full skill haste on her. For Mordred, Mordred's a pain to keep alive on expert. I gave her full tank. She does have 80% CO, anti-CO damage, so we can actually get away with putting her on full tank. I almost put her on HP, but I kind of wanted to get her ulti. The ulti lined up pretty well with 63% skill haste. Agnes, again, I went full tank A speed on her. Crit reg would be nice, but I don't have that kind of gear. But yeah, it's just full A speed, ground res, and any A speed you can give her. She does her job. All she needs to do is her death break. Thanks everyone for watching. I hope this helps you get the minimum score this season. Honestly, the pattern enhance seems to have made this boss a lot easier in my opinion. Remember to like, comment, and subscribe. If you're feeling extra special, you can join the Mage Institute by clicking the join button. You can catch me on Discord, link is in the description, and if you want to support this channel, there's a link in the description for that too. As always, I will see you all next time.